Today, Unit 2, Day 3, Functions, Day 2. I can find function values. So let's look at what we mean here. Is we're going to be looking at an equation, a normal equation, something that you've seen every time, and we're going to change it up a little bit and put it in function notation. A function notation, all it's saying is I'm going to, instead of just having it y equals, I'm going to have it f of x equals. What I'm trying to do is saying, okay, I'm going to find an answer that happens to be when you replace the x value with a number and or symbol as such. So by definition, we're going to look at f of x as function of x, where the answer you get when you replace the x with the parentheses. So first question is I'm going to replace that x with the number 4. So it's going to be 3 times x minus 4. It's going to be actually 3 times 4 minus 4. And then you simplify it. It's going to equal 12 minus 4, which gives me 8. So the function of 4, so when I put 4 into the equation, I get an answer of 8. Now let's look at what do you get when you put negative 5 into that same equation. So it's going to be 3 times negative 5, putting negative 5 in parentheses of course, minus 4. Simplifying that, you get negative 15 minus 4, or negative 19. So the function of negative 5 gives me a result of negative 19. And that works really well when it's numbers. Now when it's numbers and letters, an expression like 2 minus x, I'm going to replace the x with 2 minus x. So I'm going to have it as 3 instead of 3x. So you put the 2 minus x in for x, and then don't forget you do have to still subtract 4. So distribute the 3 throughout, you get 6 minus 3x minus 4. Combine your like terms of 6 and a minus 4 to get 2 minus 3x. So the function of 2 minus x gives me a result of 2 minus 3x. Now there might be a different equation. Let's say this one, g of x is x squared minus 4x plus 5. I'm going to put negative 3 into x. Now one thing that you have to make sure is anytime you put a negative number, we will be always putting it in parentheses to eliminate the possibility of squaring a negative. So it's going to be negative 3 in for x, it's going to be squared, minus 4 times negative 3 plus 5. 9 plus 12 plus 5 is 21 plus 5, or 26. So the function of negative 3 in that equation is going to be 26. And our last one on this page, I'm going to put 6y into those x values and see what I get. So it's going to be 6y inside the parentheses squared minus 4 times the parentheses of 6y plus 5. Now 6y squared means 6y times 6y. So that's going to be 36y squared minus 24y plus 5. And that is a function of 6y. On the flip side, same idea. We're going to choose whichever letter, F or G, and then you put them into the correct spots. So we will have 2 times 7 minus 6, which is 14 minus 6, or 8. So the function of 7 is 8. This one here, we're going to put the 7 in for x, and then at the very end we'll put the minus 9. So it'll be 2 times 7 minus the 6, and then the minus 9 at the very end. So we have 14 minus 6 minus 9, or negative 1. So the function of 7 reduced by 9 is a minus 1. This one here, it's going to be 2 times y plus 9 in for x minus 6. Distribute the 2 throughout, gives me 2y plus 18 minus the 6. Combine your numbers or your like terms to give me 2y plus 12. On this one, we are going to put y in for x, and then we're going to double the result. So it's going to be 2, and then put y in for the 2x's up there. So it's going to be y minus 2 y squared, and then distribute the 2 throughout to get 2y minus 4y squared. And that'll be my function of 2 times the quantity g of y. This one has put 2y in for the x, do the whole function, and then add 3. So remember, we're going to be using f of x equals 2x minus 6. So it will be negative 4 times whatever my result is when I put 2y in for the x. So it's going to be 2 times 2y minus 6, and then we still have the plus 3. Simplifying that is negative 4y minus 3, and then distribute the negative 4 throughout.